Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. Oh, I need to get that other banner out of there. If you're lurking, that's fine, but please hit the thumbs up. There we go. Get rid of that. And it's time for Friday night on the Homestead. And tonight's topic is crimes against elders. And how's everybody doing out there? And YouTube screwing stuff up again. That's why I'm getting a little sporadic here. The over on my screen here where I usually make my comments and stuff from, it's lagging behind about 3 minutes behind because it's still showing the countdown going on. So let me see if I can get this stuff here fixed and get it back up to speed. It looks like it's getting up there. I can't see the chat though. There we go. Chat's back. All right. So speaking of the chat, first one in this evening was Shady Hill Homestead, then Crew 1351, followed by Geeky Gardens, then CB at Hugo Homestead. Everybody's talking back and forth there. Diana came in, and everybody's saying hi to each other there. Okay. Well, either we have a bunch of lurkers, or we have a bunch of shy people, or we have a bunch of trolls that are trying to get in, because the number up here in the corner is way higher than what is showing in the chat for people talking and stuff. And I got another problem here. Hang on a second. Yeah, last night I had a bad time trying to get the, okay, let's see if there we go. Get that up to the, it said the green screen wasn't working, so I had to go out, in and out about 20 times. Finally got the green screen to work, and I don't know if you can see it. It's showing some artifacting here, so let me go back in and see if I can fix that. Okay, and see which way I need to go on that. Nope, wrong way. I got to cut a balance between me tickling out and there. I think there's still a little bit of artifacting right over here to me, so just ignore it. Yeah. All right. So one of the reasons I put this on the schedule is it happened to my mother-in-law last summer, late spring. Yeah. And there is a bunch of different things that fall under this topic here. And so we're going to be kind of bouncing around. I'm going to be pulling from my time as a deputy sheriff and my time working for Homeland Security to get information to you. And Kaylin just came in. Hey, Kaylin. And so let's see if I can get the, come on. Hang on a second. I'm having a glitch again here. I can't get the, let me go over on this computer over here to get the PowerPoint up and working again. It's not working. Let's see if I can do this here. All right. Hang on a second here. Someone's coming in here, so let me mute myself. Sorry about that. It was my daughter coming in. She swapped grandkids. She brought Eli over here because he was really want to come over to Grandpa's house, and he was starting to get agitated. So she sent the other boys that way, brought him over, and is feeding him. And so, yeah, hopefully it should be nice and quiet out there now that that's out of the way. let's get this, got this thing going here. There we go. So crimes against the elderly. There is a bunch of different things that come up when you're talking about that. And so let's see. Come on, work. There it goes. No. Oh, there. First thing that pops up when people say crimes against the elderly is elder abuse. And elder abuse falls into multiple categories. And so this one here is talking about physical abuse. Now we had a couple more come in. Hey, how you guys doing? Just, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up and make a comment. So elder abuse comes from both family members and non-family members. And I like the disclaimer here that it shows for up there where it says 60%. It says 60% of elder abusers are family members most often. Talk about taking a step back on it. With the more and more people being in adult care facilities, that number, even back in 2023, when I still worked at Homeland Security, the number of abusers in facilities was way higher. But they try to hide it more and more. And so, but that all especially came to life during several disasters. One was a hurricane disaster where the staff were trying to get people moved and stuff, and a hurricane came in and they bailed and left everybody else, all the patients there. Another similar one happened with the fake demic, and Dr. Fauci's PUFA with everything, or no, it was a PUFA, it was a flat out lying to the American people, where a bunch of different supposedly certified ones that had always been up and up, where the staff were panicking and left when one person got tested and came back a fake positive. It wasn't even a false positive, it was a fake positive, and they all left and everybody there, and multiple seniors died there. Now here it says 90% of elder abuse occur in the victim's residential home. Well, those residential homes, not just the home they own, but the convalescent homes, the retirement homes and stuff, group homes and stuff like that, those are all included in that elder abuse. There's also elder abuse cases going on at hospitals where the doctors in the ER want to get the person out of there, and they don't have enough to put them to admit him into the main hospital. They got to justify it when they admit a person like that, and they just go and say, all right, there's nothing more we can do for you. You say you're not hurting bad, You need to get somebody here to pick you up, because they need to keep their emergency rooms empty to receive more patients to make more money. And so that happens sometimes. In fact, that happened was happening Tuesday night to my mother-in-law. The doctor didn't want to admit her, and he wanted to kick her loose. And my wife finally got hold of him and on the phone and said, "Hey, she's telling you that it's not that bad." When she says it's not that bad, she's in extreme pain. She's too proud to say how bad the pain really is. You need to double check her. Try some of the range of movements and stuff with arms, shoulders, knees, and legs, and see what she does. And so they admit, and I guess 20 minutes later they admitted her into the hospital. That about only 1 in 24 cases of elder abuse are reported to authorities. So, yeah. Now, here's the thing. It says 1 in 10 older adults will experience some form of elder abuse each year. And the thing is, on this, they don't say what the ages. I can't see anywhere where they would consider someone an elder for cases of elder abuse. So, I've seen with some say, oh, it starts at 60, it starts at 65, it starts at 70, it doesn't start until 75. Because each person is different. I've seen people. Oh shoot, I forgot to save that. Dang it. There was a person who was let me switch this to this. There was a person who was on America Got Talent. All right. And she was a bodybuilder, and she's out there starting to do poses and stuff, and she's 73 years old. And she's out there doing it, and she's and what's his name? Terry Crews was off stage there. He stripped off his shirt. He walked out and was right beside her doing it. So if you got her, the 73-year-old, and Terry Crews pose, matching pose for pose. She's one of those ones that is she an elder that's being abused? Do you consider her an elder? I consider her a very fine specimen of what a 73-year-old should be doing. But yeah, there's and I was going to bring up the video from that. It's on Facebook. It's one of the reels over there. It's probably on YouTube too, but I was going to show that one to you guys. So the what is elder abuse? What defines an elder is different no matter who you talk to. I mean, I've heard people talking about someone who's 50 years old as being an elder and being abused by scam artists and stuff. Let's see here. So, hang on, let me make that big me small again. So, mail fraud was one of the most common forms of crimes against elderly. They would get, once someone is receiving Social Security checks and stuff. So there's mail fraud. Oh, this account's overdue. You need, all this type of stuff, and stuff like that. One of the ones is, yes, we've changed our billing center. The new address for sending your I lost the word, your payments, but they used a different term for it. For your account is now, and they give a different one. Also, one of the big ones was they find out when they find out who's elderly. Somehow they find out what month they were born in, and they know they're on Social Security by knowing what month they were born in, and what they get their whole date of birth. They can find out exactly which Wednesday their Social Security check is coming, and so they wait around for that Wednesday. They steal the mail or open the mailbox and pull the Social Security check out and close, and then put the rest of the stuff back and go take that. No, that's the stolen mail. Yeah, they also look for credit cards and stuff, and if they find a credit card bill, all the information's on there. They can go on there and report, oh, my credit card is stolen. I need a new credit card. And if they talk to the person and find out on the credit card company, find out, okay, we'll be sending it out today. You should be receiving it in 2 or 3 days, or 3 to 5 days, whatever it is. And they check a person's mail quickly to see, oh, here's the credit card. And they get that credit card and they go spend a bunch of money on it. And she never knows that her other one's been reported stolen until she goes to use it. Of course, now in more modern times, there are text message scams. And someone tried doing this to my mother-in-law, and after she back in the summer, and then again last month. And my wife said, no, they do not text message you things like that. They send you a letter, or they'll send you an email saying, go to your account and check, Social Security sends me an email saying, you have new secured email. Go to your Social Security account and go in under your secured email to see what the message is. That's it. That's all they tell me is their secured message, usually BS stuff, because I request written stuff all the time. So they'll send me put it in the secure email on the Social Security login page for me. But then I get the snail mail anyways, and sometimes I get the snail mail faster. But there's all sorts of text message scams out there. And along with text message, I've got phone call ones. I forgot to put email. Okay, I didn't put email on there. There are email scams too. And hang on, let me go over and see if there's any. No, none in there right now. Even on Camppatton Family Compound, which I do not give that out other than it's on the description here. There are companies going around just hitting every email. Somehow they ping all the email possibilities, and they send out things. You have won something or a new drill from Lowe's Hardware, or you have received some. You're a winner for this month's giveaway at Tractor Supply, and all sorts of stuff like that. And what's interesting is Tractor Supply doesn't have my Camppatton email. No businesses have my Camppatton email, and only the reason the scammers have it is because they pinged a thing, found that it's a real email. So I get stuff, and it's weird. But the big one I've been getting the last several months is payment denied. Payment denied, blah, 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 blah. The payment method you used for your cloud storage has been declined because because of an irregularity with it. You need to use the link in the email here to get it, or you will lose all of your photos and documents at the end of the day. Yeah. But my mother-in-law has gotten the text messages and email scams and stuff, and she freaks out. And my daughter tells her, "Don't worry about it. I get, I have set your phone up so it forwards all of your text messages to me, and I look at your email now, and I see what's there. And when I see one of those, I just put it into the spam folder permanently." All right, what do we got here? When my mom first moved into a senior apartment, an office employee held onto the checks and money orders instead of depositing those rent payments till eviction notices went out. Yeah, they do that too. You have employees that don't deposit stuff and don't credit it, and do crap like that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's the one that my mother-in-law got hit early summer, late spring last year was, we're with the IRS. You're your account has been flagged for laundering money for a terrorist organization. Blah blah blah, and then contact us at, and had a phone number on there, and of course it's like a telemarketing place, and they call in, type setup for scamming people, and they call in and say, yes, we can get you to the agent. Hang on, blah blah blah, and they transfer the person 2 or 3 times till they get to the special agent in charge of, And it was a total scam, and none of them spoke good English. To me, you get something like that for the federal government, they can't speak good English. It's click. Let's see. So text message scams work kind of the same way. She was gotten text messages from Best Buy saying, "Oh, your stuff has expired. Payment didn't clear for this. You need to, contact us and, make arrangement for it." She wound up having 3 extended warranties through Best Buy for her antivirus. Yeah. Chris went down there and got hold of the person down there at the one, because it was going through the local one in Fremont there, and said, well, this has been going on for 2 years now, so you owe her all this plus interest, or we're going to the DA. So, there's, they blamed it on a computer glitch and stuff, and they couldn't find anyone who was directly involved in the one at Best Buy. Phone call scams. They call up, and they'll actually, it's like it used to be more prevalent when they had the white pages phone books out there, and they just go down and start calling people stuff. So and so, you have okay. So if a person didn't have the first couple points, I'm sorry, we must have the wrong one. Have a good day. They find an older person and they say, oh yeah, you have an account with Sony. Your account is showing overdue here. This is so and so collection agency. You need to get us a cashier's check. Blah 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 by end of business, like 5 o'clock this evening, whatever, and then they have make them go to. They have to drive clear across town, blah blah, and they go back and forth, trying to work it out. And he goes, wait a minute, we have somebody that lives out near you. We'll have them swing by your house and they'll pick up the check from you personally. Yeah. Let me go over it. Yeah, that's one of the ones they kind of did with they did a version of that where, okay, we're gonna have some, the guys from the IRS. Well, we'll have one of our agents come by and pick up the check from you, and we can get this all cleared up really quick. Yeah. Let's see. Normal phishing scams. Everybody knows about the phishing scams and stuff like that. Yeah. I had one of those a healthcare. Yeah, you haven't paid. You for this this hospital visit. And my response was, really? What was the date on that visit? They couldn't provide a date. Well, we just have the amount here that you owe this amount. And I told them, no, you don't, because if you are a real collection agency, you have the entire file on it. You can tell me the time I went in, time out. You are just nothing but a scammer. You want to know how I know that? And they go, how? And I go, I was a special agent for Homeland Security. Click. Yeah. So my favorite one in our office there, we had the IP phones for every agent in our office. Then we had 2 emergency landline phone numbers, so that if the internet went down, we lost our IP phones. We had landline phones. We could reach out and contact people, say, hey, all right, this is what's going on. We've lost our phones, plus everyone else's cell phones. But if the IP went down, the internet phones went down, the cell towers were down, we would be still able to reach out with old-fashioned dial-up and contact people. Well, we'd get scammer calls on those. And, we wound up with our standard operating procedure for answering that phone is, pick it up. Hello? Hello, you have reached the Department of Homeland Security emergency line. What is your emergency? So I can transfer you to the proper agent or team. And then the person start talking right in the middle, blah, 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 blah. You have to say, hey, did you hear how I answered the phone? Did you listen to anything? What? This is the Department of Homeland Security. This is the emergency line. What is your emergency so we can transfer you to the proper department? And they're like, click. Yeah. Back when more people had landlines that they did cell numbers, when we get some of those asking for, do we have another contact number? Yeah. And we'd give them the number for the county jail. Yeah. For some reason, my brother's number, we got a lot of those. All right. Let's see here. Next one here. Pickpockets. Yes, pickpockets are still out there. And they will pick elderly people's wallets and stuff and quickly go use their ATM cards and their credit cards and, as quickly as they can. And if they're connected and they have those scanners, they'll just scan the cards so they have it, and the scanners are such that it reads everything on it, including what your PIN number is supposed to be. And then they will go, oh, ma'am, sir, you dropped your wallet back there. That way they have their wallet back in their hand. And so when something happens, did you lose your wallet? Oh, no, I dropped it, but some nice young man picked it up and handed it right back to me. Yeah. So pickpockets is another one that does that. Let's see, next one here. Similar is card skimming. And this isn't just for elderly people, but they generally get, when they get hit, they don't catch it as quick as normal people will. So your cards, hang on. See if I have one that shows what it's on. So your cards, when they have this little sign right there on it and has this stupid chip card, you can walk into a put back in a sealer. Yeah. If you walk into a Starbucks, there'll be people sitting around with laptops, because Starbucks has their Wi-Fi. And you see one that has a laptop that has a big antenna on it. That's someone who's scanning everybody's card in the facility. You walk in there and so your card's been scanned as soon as you walk in the door. Unless you happen to have it in one of those specialty things, or you do like some people do and take a hole punch and just punch out the chip card. And yeah. And the thing is, the credit card companies know this. They knew it before they made it mandatory that everyone has a chip card. And so I don't know why, who paid them off, and somebody paid them off. I'm not saying who, but some of the initials come up with certain very rich people, such as BG and others, who I don't know how they're making money off it, but they are. But they say, oh, it's for security reasons. In case you lose your card, they can't use it without this. It's got this scanner thing on it. all they got to do is put the punch hole on it, and they'll try to put it in the thing. It says can't read it. Swipe the card. So, and you go in there. Yep, you can take out that chip reader on your card yourself. I mean the chip on it, and say chip's been damaged. Got to swipe it. And during the process, you kind of tell them, hey, any card with a chip on it can be scanned from 30 feet away with some of these devices. So, but yeah, they'll pick a space like bingo halls, and someone will show up there to play bingo, and they'll have the scanner and just walk up and down the aisle like they're looking for something, and they're nailing everybody's credit card, ATM card, debit cards, everything as they're walking up and down the thing to find a seat. And they got all of it, and they just take that smaller device, plug it into their larger unit, and they can make copy credit cards of it. So that affects everyone, not just elderly, but they pick on the elderly because the elderly react slower. And then they're open for any other suggestions there on it. Yeah, let's head back over here. There we go. Oh, I know part of the problem. Oh, GG. But I got rid of that. Thought I had turned that light on already. Oh. Yeah, because it's 6:30 here, and during the wintertime, 6:30, it's dark outside. But I've got the window here, and bright lights coming in, not enough to light up the screen behind me here. All right. So what sort of scams have people tried on you? And can you use an example, no names, please, of someone who had been scammed on something? I know my grandmother, when she was alive back in the 80s, we caught somebody going through her mailbox. Unfortunately for that person, it was a pickup of her loaded with her grandkids. Back when we used to ride in the back of the pickup in the bed, there were like 10 of us come pulling up there and see someone going through her mail. This was on a rural road, semi-rural road, where nobody would be messing with it. And I'm not sure to say who all was involved in it, but the ambulance came and picked him up, and the deputy sheriff. Oh yeah, the card reading slots, gas stations is big, ATMs. I've seen some videos where the guys are going around like the little mom and pop markets and stuff. Someone who walked in there and just, the person, where it's kind of slow time of day where there's not, the cashier's not at the counter. They just walk up there and, stick the skimmer on there and, go and buy something and pay cash so they're not on the record of transaction. And yeah. But yeah, those skimmers at ATMs, gas stations, any place where a scanner, it can be alone for a little bit, not always watched. Yeah, they'll put on one of those things on it, and they have enough memory in there that they can read. They can read. Over get the data for over 1,000 cards, and then they just come back later that night and beep, beep, download all that information, and off they go to the next one they put them on. She was doubled or triple billed. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I hate online billing. I demand of all my accounts to send me a real paper bill. So I get my credit card full bill, and I can go down and I can look at it, and I know, wait a minute, I didn't go there, and I go back to date, see onto my computer, see what my transaction was, and it's like, oh, that's what it was. I did do that. Okay. But yeah, there are a lot of a lot of double billings out there, and it's companies that are scamming them, mostly that are doing that. But then there are individuals in there that figure out a way when they double scam and stuff like that. When and then they, after the bill gets paid on it, they go in and make them say, double billing or triple billing, whatever, refund it to this credit card, and they refund it to a different format or whatever. Yep. Exactly, Kaylin. Yeah, on this one here, back when I was in California, I'd gone down to the courthouse and talked to the clerks down there, and I had to go back and talk to one of the judges on it, and got myself removed from all jury duty because of my position as a federal agent, and the fact that Homeland Security, we get copies of all the cases there. And so I got copies of everything, part of the thing. I would go reviewing a bunch of these things. I got called up for jury duty twice. Third time, when I went in early to talk to them about it and say, because the other two times I walked in, and does anybody know anything about this case? I rose my hand. I know everything about it. I've read the reports. I've read that. And they go, why did you do that? I'm a federal agent. They have to send me copies. And the judge says, you're out of here. Go. Both times. The third time I went in and talked to the clerk, and they caught one of the judges before going into the actual courtroom, and he goes, remove him totally from it. He is never to receive a summons. But some missing jury duty is one. Over parking tickets, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, hang on, my wife. All right, Prepper 101. So, yeah, so there are, who was it? I just thought of another one just kept popped to mind. This was one, she was going about it the right way, but she wound up using an unscrupulous person doing it. She went to a agency to set up trust accounts for her, for the house, put the house in a land trust, and put her banking accounts in a different under a different trust, and the automobile under a different trust. Even though she only used the car once or twice a week at all, sometimes she didn't use it for a whole month. But the person who was setting things up got access to her credit cards and her checking account, and bled her drive. And when they found out who it was, they found out this person had done it to about 40 other of their clients. Yeah, they caught her before she got out of town. But yeah, this was a the company was legit, was doing things legit, was doing it at a bargain rate to help elderly people, but one of the people there decided to take advantage of them. Yeah. Yeah, overdue bills and stuff is one thing deal with, not just elderly, but those several years out of college. Oh, you haven't been sending, you're behind on your student loan. You need da. And the person's been paying it. Oh no, it was show you got notified that it had been changed that the place of remittance had changed, and they go after them too. I know I talked about a little bit about remittance bills, but yeah. So yeah, that works on a lot of things like that. New car payments too, same way on stuff like that. Someone buys a new car, and they get stuff screwed up on that right away. I think I covered everything I needed to cover, so it's not going to be a real long one tonight. So coming tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping, the topic is after the super hurricane, what are your plans? Monday, back here on Camppatton Family Compound, is canning drinks. Let me bring up the list here. Yeah. Tuesday on Tactical Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping. The title is going to be 20 Days to Get Home. And part of the thing is you have 90 minutes to get your supplies to get, it's going to take you 20 days to walk home. And things are just going down. So you have 90 minutes to get your supplies before the switch flips and your cards and stuff are no good anymore. And so you got 90 minutes to get ready. What are you going to get? And now you got 20 days to get home. What's your plan for getting home? We're going to talk about plans for getting home. See how many people have really thought about it. So yeah, that's going to be one of the ones we're going to be covering. That's how we're going to be covering that there. Thursday is the Midnight Ride. Next Friday here, we're going to talk about pole barn evolution. So it's POLE, barn revolution or evolution. And what are the different types of pole barns where the poles are put directly in the ground, no foundation, no cement around them and stuff like that. And so we're going to talk about those and how that works. And from the small ones to big ones, and why you might want to use those instead of going with a real foundation barn. All right. So with that, everyone, stay happy, stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night over on Gray Man Prepping for Survival Saturday. All right. Take care, everyone.